What's going on, everybody? 505 interview series. Big D coming at you with What's going on, everybody? Oh, I got some feedback. There we go. All right. So, hope you're all doing great. Welcome back. I got a great guest tonight. Super excited. Very, very, very big industry veteran who's kind of done it all, seen it all, been through it all. So super awesome to talk to him. But before we get started, let's pay some bills. Reminder, we got my product sponsor, Zyfe. I'm totally in love with this deep V cut triple torch lighter, man. This thing, I can't put it down. I love it. I think it's one of the greatest lighters I have ever used. And the fact it's a combo lighter makes it even that much better. You can pick one up for yourself. Or with the holidays coming around, I know you want a new humidor, travel door, cutter, lighter, accessories. Go over to ZyfeCigarAccessory.com. Use that promo code 505CR to save some coinage. And, you'll be perfectly happy. If you're watching and you want to pick something up for that aficionado in your life, even better, head on over there and definitely they will take care of you with your cigar needs. If you want to buy on Amazon, I've been posting the promo codes for their Zyfe's Amazon store kind of all over social media. So if you want to take advantage of what Zyfe has to offer on their Amazon store, go do it. So Zyfe Cigar Accessory, promo code 505CR, and that'll save you some coinage. Also pinned in the chat. Go click on my link tree there. Go take advantage of all my sponsors, advertisers, and preferred retail partners to save you some discounts on purchasing this delicious, delicious, delicious fermented plant matter. All right. Without further ado, let's bring on. He is the vice president of sales for Berger Cigars, the one, the only, the mega personality of Busch.
Yeah, the mega personality. Now I got to live up to that, man. You just put me in a hole, dude. All right, but I think I can fish my way out.
I've seen enough of you out there to know the mega personality.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome, Bruce. I'm glad to finally get to talk to you instead of just kind of little casual here and there's at trade shows and events.
Cool. So, hey, I'm happy to be on with you, man. Discuss some cigars. A gorgeous night here in Tampa, Florida. Got a nice cold breeze blowing through my garage. It's beautiful, man.
Beautiful. So, for anybody who's watching who may be new to the craft out there, I'll hand it over to you to introduce you to the people out there.
Perfect. I'm Bruce Busch. I'm vice president of Berger Cigars, and I work for the Queen of Cigars. She's absolutely amazing. She's a very close friend of mine. And 4 years ago, she took a chance on me and hired me as her national sales rep. And I've grown the company by a few thousand% in the past few years. Anybody in the industry that knows me knows I get out there and I sell like an animal. I visit cigar shops from coast to coast, including Europe and parts elsewhere. So I really hustle to try and sell the brand. I absolutely love it. I think it's so much friggin' fun. It's not even funny. The only thing that sucks is sometimes you're away from home quite a bit, but I spent a lot of time at home while my kids were small, so now it's time to hit the road and bring Berger's amazing cigars to all parts of the world. It's a good time doing it, too.
There we go. Yes.
It's Connecticut.
Connecticut.
I'm going to wrap up right now with look at that. Ain't that a peach? Look at that. Yeah, that's the Berger AJ Fernandez. Look at that ash. You like my ash? I've been working out, man.
It is. It looks great.
Thanks. It's the genes.
Yeah, sometimes the perfect genes just kind of make everything fall in line.
For sure, man. No question about it.
I really like the Connecticut.
Awesome. It's Creator's Corner. How you doing, Dope? I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of what Karen does out there. Her cigars speak for themselves. She's I'd like to say she's a master savant when it comes to putting together her blends.
Master savant, huh? I haven't heard that one yet, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
you
it.
You can even tell her I said that.
I will. I will. The funny thing is, the company's been around 27 years, and Don Kiki, which a lot of people don't realize this. Our boy Ryan Miller in Colorado, he realizes this. Don means sir. It's actually not a name, and Kiki short for Henry, so it's actually Sir Henry Don Kiki, right? And Kiki was a really great master blender, and Karen kind of learned under him, her husband, while he was alive. But I mean, kind of like the student becomes the master. I mean, Karen, not Kiki, God rest her soul, but Karen's blending cigars like he never has, in my opinion. I mean, she's really doing a great job. Her commitment to quality is unwavering. For every Karen Berger cigar you guys see that hits the market, there's like 5 dead soldiers that never made it out there because they just weren't good enough, And we've had a lot of things on the drawing board, and we've swiped them off because it just didn't meet the standard of quality that we have. I mean, if we're going to put something out there and have Karen's name on it, it's going to be banging, man.
Yeah, I think so. Out there, does she have an idea when she goes into the lab on what she wants to do, or does she just kind of let the leaves talk to her and kind of work together?
I think it's a good question. I think it's a lot of trust in the people that she has growing the tobacco. She has a couple of guys in the farm that are in charge of growing the tobacco in her field, and they have just a painstaking approach to what they do. So they really produce quality tobacco. And then, of course, as you know, even though you have a farm and all that, the wrapper is rarely grown at your farm. All of our wrapper comes from somewhere else. So she puts the ingredients together, and she's got kind of a framework of an idea on what she's going to do. And then at some point in time, you got to let the leaves talk a little bit, right? Because that idea you had in your head kind of might look good on paper, but the final product doesn't quite cut the mustard, So you go back and you try something else out. But there's definitely a scaffolding and a framework initially before she begins the process. And then after that, you kind of let the process dictate to you. It's kind of like writing a song or doing a piece of art or something like that. Or if you're in a PhD program and you're doing your research for your PhD program, at some point in time, you're going to get a little lost, and then you have the facts like kind of unveil themselves to you. And that's sort of the process of blending tobacco as well.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a tedious process from seed to smoke to just get to the point now where we're enjoying this.
Right.
And, the countless hours spent between, where are we planning? How are we planning to, all right, is it ready? How are we gonna age and ferment? It's just, it's painstaking to get something that's delicious that, within 45 minutes to an hour, we're done with it, and then go, well,
right. Yeah.
But when you got a mind like Karen's out there, which I think that's why I say that genius savant, her mind thinks differently with the tobacco. I really get a feel and a story in each of her cigars when I smoke it, as it works its way from light to nub. They tells a story, and not a lot of cigars tell a story. You get cigars that are very good, and it's like, it's great, it was nice, but there's a story that's told in each of the cigars, from the core line to some of the exclusives that she's put out there. It tells a story, and it's beautiful.
Well, everyone's got their signature kind of, right? For example, AJ Fernandez, his cigars kick you in the nuts when you fire them up, and then you kind of go from there. And same thing like maybe LFD or whatever, But with Karen, the big overriding factor is balance. That's the thing. I mean, if you smoke, we have 14 cigars now in our lineup, right? All 14 of them are exquisitely balanced. I mean, what does that mean exactly? Well, there's a lot of cigars out there that you fire up. The first third hits you like a ton of bricks, and then the second and third there's nothing, right? Or you fire it up and there's not much there, and it heats up and it gets better. Our cigars are insanely consistent. I mean, you could be in the first. A lot of people are like, how's the first third? How's the second third? How's the third third? The thing about Karen cigars is all 3 thirds are awesome. None of them really drop off. They change, yeah. Are there complexities that give different flavors as you go through it? Without a doubt. But a lot of the notes, the tasting notes you'll get in the first third, you'll get them in the third third also. some diminished, some attenuated a little bit, some amplified up a little bit, but the balance is really, I think, what separates us from a lot of other companies.
Yeah, I think so. They're all very well rounded out there, and that's, I think, consistency is the key. I've never had. I was telling you when we were in the green room, I've never had a bad stick from Karen, and I've tried. I think pretty much everything that she's put out to market, I've either purchased or somebody's gifted to me. And there's this part of me, as somebody who has smoked for almost 25 years, I want to say it's a good stick, but it's not for me. But I can never say that about anything that Karen's put out. I smoke it and it's phenomenal. And then I was like, I need to find a way to get my hands on more of these.
I love that. I love that. I love that. You know, the whole thing with us is that where you're at with your love for our brand of cigars, we kind of like to get more people there. And you think it'd be just kind of like a no-brainer, like really easy and all that, but it's really not, man. I mean, it's like to get brand X out of someone else's hand and a Karen Berger in their hand, and to get them to really give it a chance and fire it up and understand the journey that we're taking, it's hard to do, man. You know, and the frustrating thing about this business is people that haven't had our cigars yet, and they're like, oh, well, I don't know, I really like this brand. I'm like, man, go through. I don't care what you want, Connecticut, Habano, Maduro, medium, full body, whatever you want. It's in our portfolio somewhere. So whatever you're looking for, we have it. And we probably have it better than most companies.
I think so. I mean, you know, I love the box press aspect on most of the cigars, and you know it. And unlike a lot of other soft box presses, this holds its form throughout the entire cigar. Doesn't get squishy. Doesn't round out.
Right.
It just stays perfect. Perfect ash. I mean, I'm stacking dimes on this thing. Gorgeous.
Appreciate it.
I you know, none of Karen's cigars have like overpowered me. And I'll say it. If you're looking for something that's gonna hit you with full strength or full bodied, I've never gotten that. I've gotten a balanced cigar that at times kind of gives you a little slap and then goes back to the subtle nuances that make the cigar delicious. Mm-hmm. And I like that. You know, I don't need to have something that's going to blow me out of the water. I don't need a heavy cigar. I don't need a cigar that the vitamin N is going to knock me over. You know,
vitamin N. That's a new one. I haven't heard that yet, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, like most people, I enjoy a good vitamin N cigar, but it's not a necessity. You know, I find that with newer smokers out there, they think they've got to have the most powerful and the strongest cigar. For me, almost 25 years into my journey, I'm more about consistency and flavors than I am over body and strength. Whether it be a mild cigar, mild, or mild medium on it, if the flavors pop, that's what I want.
Right.
I'm fine with that. You know, I'm more about wanting to have the enjoyable experience instead of going, well, I picked up this, you know, nuclear missile and I smoked it. You know,
it's the same experience that you get with like you know, hot sauces and heat and food and all that. I mean, you know, for spiciness, for heat and like, you know, hot sauces or whatnot. I mean, spiciness is inversely proportional to flavor, right? So too much spice and your eyes are bleeding with a ghost pepper, you're losing flavor. You got more heat, but you got less flavor. Body and flavor in a cigar are the same thing. If your body goes up, your flavor tends to be diminished a little bit, you know? If your body goes up too high, I mean, all you got is body. You're just sitting there just like sucking on a nicotine plant, you know? And so you really want enough body, but not to get in the way of the flavor.
I agree, you know, and everybody's palates are set different, you know, and I understand that, you know, and like there was a time where I just wanted heavy and harsh cigars, and then I kind of worked myself out of that when I wanted to to kind of continue on my journey elsewhere. It was part of my journey, and it was part of when I was younger into my journey. Now that I'm an old man in this journey, it's all about, for me, it's all about flavor and consistency.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I like the companies that grow their own tobacco. I think if you grow your own tobacco, you really, the consistency is an easier feat to achieve, you know?
Yes, I think so as well. I had something I was going to tag on. Oh, yes, when we were doing. So you're smoking the collab with AJ Fernandez.
Correct.
We have talked. We did mention before. AJ is one of those guys that likes to throw fireballs at you in his smokes.
Right.
Whether it be right when you light it up or right at the end, somewhere along that line, you're going to get hit with a blast of pepper and smacked in the face with some sort of spice as you work through it. How did those two work together so well to really kind of put a well-balanced stick that had that enough pepper and spice that, you know, it was noticeable but wasn't overpowering?
Well, unlike a lot of cigars in the industry that say by AJ Fernandez on them, usually when they say by AJ Fernandez, that means AJ made it. And then it was made at his factory. And then it just, you know, was presented to another brand, right? This is the only that I can think of, and I could be wrong. Actually, I am wrong because Rafael Nadal and AJ Fernandez collaborate on the aging room. However, this right here is a pure collaboration with two people that have farms, that have factories, that have the entire vertical process, and it is a bona fide collaboration. So the wrapper is Oscuro wrapper. Let's take a look at it real quick here, man. That's a dark, beautiful wrapper right there, right?
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
It's beautiful, yeah. It's a Habano. What's that?
I love Oscuro. It's my mistress. You know.
So it's a Habano 2000 Connecticut broadleaf hybrid, and we're the only cigar that actually has it for a wrapper. It's made exclusively for us, and we have a San Andreas binder on it, which is Karen's idea, and then half of the filler comes from AJ's farm and half comes from Karen's farm. So they have selected the tobacco from each one of their farms to go in the cigars. So it's a bona fide collaboration. It's not just here, make that for me and I'll sell it. It is the two of them worked hard on it together, and the results speak for themselves. I mean, you know, anyone that's really loves a great cigar, a phenomenal high-end cigar. And I'm not even saying like, you know, this thing competes with $30 cigars. Anybody that likes that kind of thing and smokes this, falls in love with it, buys a box, puts it in their humidor because it is that good. It's in my opinion, it's better than anything out there. That's my opinion.
Yeah. It was definitely one of those flavor bombs that I had when I had the opportunity to get one that I didn't want it to end. And I got sad. And then I started even slow smoking as I got into that last third of the cigar just to try and savor it for a little bit longer.
Right.
On it. But yeah, those two, that they work together so well. Both two completely different styles to their blending, and they seemed to come together and they made something that was just all damn near perfect.
Yeah, and something that, like, you know, kind of is not on the market. I mean, like, there's not really another cigar that tastes like this one. The Tabernacle by Foundation is the closest thing, which I mean, Foundation's a great company. Nick Malloy's an amazing person. It's an amazing company. That would be the closest cigar to this, man. But I think this one even maybe kind of has a leg up on that one. Yeah,
I think so. I like it. I'd pick it over the Tabernacle.
Right on. Appreciate that, brother.
It is, you know, and of course, if people wanted to know my rating on that one, it is drool bucket worthy.
Love that.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So, is she working on other collaborations at the moment now, or more working on just expanding out the existing line within the portfolio?
Well, that's a great question. So, I'll walk you through the middle of 23, which is coming to an end, sadly, too quickly. and where we're at right now and what our projects are for the future. So Karen let me blend a cigar, and I made the tailgate, which is this bad boy right here. Right? So it comes in a little box like a truck, 14 sticks to signify 2 touchdowns. Right? In Florida, I always say Florida prices. We're not like Colorado with those high taxes. We have no tax here on tobacco. So in Florida, a stick is $7.85 a stick. Sumatran wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler. I designed it to pair well with a cold beer on a hot day. It also goes nice to single malt scotch. It's a beautiful cigar. And then next week, actually, the K-Fire will hit the ground. That's our brand new cigar, the K-Fire. It'll hit the ground November 20th. It should be in shops around the United States about November 22nd or 23rd. And the K-Fire is absolutely amazing. It's a Mexican San Andreas wrapper. With the Habano wrapper that we have on our Habano cigar is the binder of that cigar.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then the filler is from Karen's farm. It is, I mean, you could just think Karen's talent put into a San Andreas. I know there's a lot of San Andreas on the market, but this one's special, man. I'm telling you what, when you smoke it, you'll understand. It's going to be about 14 a stick. A little pricey, but I mean, like I say about the AJ collab, once you fire it up, you'll get it. You know, I don't mind paying $25 for a piece of key lime pie, but when I put that fork in it, I better taste that $25.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm counting down how many cents each puff is.
Right.
Yeah.
I say that because there used to be a bakery in Tampa that had a $25 slice of key lime pie. And you're like, what the fuck? 20? You put a fork in it and you okay, I get it. Okay. It was worth it.
I did. Now I didn't pay for it, but I was gifted and I did smoke, a $300 cigar that has gold in the filler.
What?
Yeah. There's gold leaf in the filler.
Cavalier?
No. Inside the filler, they took gold leaf and rolled it into the filler. So when you smoke it, you're smoking gold leaf with it in it, and they charge $300 a stick.
Ew. Was it good?
No.
I can't tell you how many times I've had a $50 to $100 cigar put in my hand. I fire it up, and I've been like,
for the these disappointment level. Yes, yeah. I get it. First off, had I known it was going to taste that bad, I would have just torn it apart and taken the gold leaf out. It was worth more than the thing. The tobacco to me tasted cheap, and I don't think it was also aged and cured properly, and so I wasn't a fan of it. But some of these events that you go to with exclusive people who just like the status of saying that they have it and don't really care or know anything about them, it was one of those events.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the only way I'm going to smoke a $300 cigar. If that shit's free 99, man, I'm not spending $300 on a cigar. I mean, that's just completely illogical.
I went with my buddy, and he's like, I know you do this whole cigar stuff. I don't know anything about it, but they're gonna have cigars there. Just come as my guest. I was like, all right. So I was bored listening to whatever they were doing, and I wasn't paying attention. I was on my phone doing something, and then I was just waiting for them to open up the cigar rack over there, and I, of course, being cigar people that we are, I came prepared with all my, my own cutter and lighter and everything ready to go, because I didn't know what they were going to have there, and I'm damn sure not going to use a communal cutter.
Right.
But I was watching everybody just kind of light it up and just go like puff, and then just toss it all in the trash. And I'm like, man, I think I want to take all them out of the trash and get all that gold out of it. You guys have gone out to Germany to enter tobacco a few times. Have you had much success out in the European market?
Oh yeah, big time, big time. So much success that I love. Hey Richard, how you doing, brother? So much success that I actually in April or May I gotta do a European tour, man. I'm gonna do events in England, Norway, Sweden, Poland, and probably hook down through southern Germany at the end of it and do some events there and fly back home. So, yeah, we've had some massive success in Europe. I mean, they're really liking our cigars. The cool thing about Europe as opposed to the United States is that they love Nicaraguan cigars, and they're not going to sit here and be like, "Oh, I only smoke this brand or I only smoke that brand." They're like, "You got a new Nicaraguan cigar? Bring it, man. Let's go. I want to try it." And then Karen was on the cover of Cigar Journal, so she's got a lot of street cred over in Europe, man. So that helps out a lot too, you know. So we've been killing it over in Europe. We're really big in Germany right now, Hungary, Bulgaria, Croatia, Norway, England, Poland. So we're doing really well over there.
Yeah, you know, I've talked to some other brands who have gone over a couple of times and without the success. And as they said, people like it. But getting it, once you get in, you're good. But
Yeah.
it's getting in is the problem.
And even when you get like a European distributor to agree to bring your cigars over, it's a mountain of paperwork. Like I sit here at this desk in my garage right here. I do all kinds of paperwork. Oh, get this, document this, stamp this. Especially the Asians, they love things to be stamped. So I've got my K by Karen Berger stamped. Like, boom, 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 I got do all kinds of freaking documents and shit. It's really a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But once you open up all the avenues and once you got all the paperwork, the custom stuff squared away and all that, then they just order and you sell. They order and you sell. They order and you sell. And once that starts happening, then you're cooking with gas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you got into that exclusive German market, which is where a lot of brands want to be in Germany. They are kind of the largest cigar smoking country in Europe. They
outside of the United States, number one. The United States is the number one cigar market in the world. Germany's second.
Well, they're in Europe.
In Europe, they're for sure number one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the largest in Europe. Yeah, sorry, I probably misspoke.
No.
Yeah, Germany getting into that market, and I have a lot of friends in Germany who are hungry for new cigars, who want to try new things, who want something different. They're burnt out on the whole Cuban lifestyle that has been big over there forever. And
can I talk to your German market for a second, man?
Go for it.
Also, meine Leute in Deutschland, Sie können ganz einfach Kernberger Cigars in deiner lokalen Tobacco-Geschäft finden. Sie sind von Kleinlage herverstanden und dann wir haben eine Lieferung durch alle Teilen von Deutschland. So müssen Sie sich immer zu deiner Tabakgeschäft bieten. Kannst du bitte Kernberger Cigars mitnehmen? All right.
There you go.
I used to be a German professor.
Awesome. I do when I do look at the analytics, Germany and Austria seems to they make up quite big of my watch time.
Yeah, Austria. There's no cigar lounges in Austria anymore. They're kind of outlawed.
Yeah, I heard about that out there. But my couple friends I have in Germany, I do pack up care packages to send to them to give them an idea of what cigars I'm into currently now, some of the newer stuff that has come out that I like, so that they have an opportunity to experience, because they may not have that type of opportunity for them to get in. Or if they do get in, it's 5, 6, maybe 4 or 5 years down the road before they are finally able to show up and be in that market over there. So I like to kind of give them a head start on what I like over here that I feel is good, so that they can have it, so they can share, they can talk about it with their friends.
Oh, cool. Right on, man. Yeah, get them a leg up on what's going on. Hey, Eduardo, how you doing, brother? By the way, anybody ask me a question, go for it.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions for Bruce, feel free to pop them up in the chat. whether personally for him or if you have any questions in regards to Karen Berger Cigars, Bruce will be happy to answer those to the best of his knowledge and ability.
Absolutely.
Love it. How much time does Karen spend in the lab down in Nicaragua?
She just flew there today. She's going to be there for 7 days right now. So she told me pre-COVID she would do like 2 weeks every 2 months down there. Like do 14 days in Nicaragua and come back and work here. So Karen has 2 houses. She has one house in the Daytona Beach area, and the other house is on her farm in Esteli, Nicaragua, which, by the way, is a gorgeous house, right? Beautiful, like 4,000 square feet, like old Spanish style. Really cool. Hey, Alexander, how you doing? And so she goes down there, works on the farm and factory. She loves it down there. She loves it down there, totally. And then she, our Daytona Beach, our American operation, so she comes over here and spends 6-7 weeks out of 2 months here. And then usually less and less now because I don't want her on the road that much. She doesn't want to be on the road that much. And basically that's my job as the face of the company out there. Although I hear these idiots say all the time, "You're not as hot as Karen." I'm like, "No, man," but
well,
but I got moxie, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need, man. I'll roll with that. So yeah, she spent right now. She's down there tying up some loose ends. And Dan, if I can, I have an exclusive for you tonight, man. Can I throw an exclusive on your show?
Go for it.
All right, man. So our new product, which you heard it here first in the 505. We have the Connoisseurs Collection coming out in about 2 weeks. It'll be here for the Christmas holiday. It's going to be a windowed box of 12 cigars, and it'll have our whole lineup in it. It'll have the AJ in there. We'll have the Habano, Don Kiki Red, Figurado, our Cameroon. You're smoking the Connecticut. It'll have the Don Kiki Gold and Platinum. It'll also have the K-Fire, the Tailgate, and Don Kiki's white and green in there too, man. So you're going to get our whole lineup in that box. Retail price of the box, don't hold me to, I think it's going to be about $130, somewhere around there, right? Maybe $125, somewhere around there, right? And that'll be it, man. It's going to be awesome, man. It'll be awesome. They'll be dropping in stores right after Thanksgiving.
Wow, that's gonna be phenomenal. That's like the ultimate sampler that you could purchase there, especially if you're a fan of Karen or Don Kiki line cigars. There you get a little bit of everything and an opportunity to probably taste or try out some newer stuff that you may have not have had the opportunity to.
Yeah, Eduardo, Philadelphia. Yeah, I'll be up there after the first of the year, man. No concrete plans yet, but I got to do a Philadelphia trip here pretty soon, man. If you get a chance and go to Media PA to Pairings, you know what that is? Cool little town, Media PA. Pairings is a friggin' dope bar, man. It's really cool. Great whiskey selection, great cigars. They have our whole lineup there at Media at Pairings. If you want to check that out.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. Well, now I'm gonna have to pick up that sampler box.
Oh yeah.
That sounds.
It'll definitely be Smoking Cave in Colorado. They'll definitely have it.
Yeah, I'll have to see how much that's running on the Colorado taxes.
Yeah.
So out on your travels and where you go, where do you find probably some of the best places are at that are your shop that are your brands?
Well, naturally, I live in Florida, but Florida is kind of like a zoo with cigars, though, man. Oh yeah, Edward, definitely go there. Pairings, called Pairings. It's awesome, right? So I live in Florida, but Florida's cool. But Florida's kind of like a zoo, man, because everyone in the cigar industry lives here. Everybody knows each other. I mean, everyone's like 2 degrees removed away from everyone in the business, you know. So it's cool, Florida. It's a great cigar scene, but it's kind of nuts for actually selling the cigars for us. I was just in South Carolina with Karen this past weekend. I just drove home a couple days ago, and we did events in Spartanburg and Columbia. And I gotta tell you, man, South Carolina is like one of my favorite states to sell cigars in because everyone there is cool. They're wide open, 5% tobacco tax, which is like nominal. A lot of places eat that themselves. So what you pay for a cigar is like damn near Florida prices, you know. So South Carolina is a nice little hot spot. Arkansas, believe it or not, is a nice hot spot for us. Texas, cigars sell well in Wisconsin, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New England area. It's hard to say. There's a lot of hot spots in the country.
Yeah, you know, Texas recently over the last couple of years seems to be the hot market that a lot of brands are really trying to navigate into out there. Is that true? That's just more so based upon what I hear and see or talking with people, that Texas is the market that they're really trying to bust into. Because once you're in, you kind of can expand through the whole state.
Yeah, well, I mean, Texas only has like a 1% tobacco tax, like 1 point. It's ridiculous, nominal, you know. And there's a bunch of money out there, you know. So I mean, the DFW area has like 90 cigar shops in it, you know. So Dallas, Fort Worth's a hot spot. Houston, the Austin area, both hot spots. And there's a lot of cigar lounges all over Texas, but like Texas is huge. I mean, you could drive from Dallas to El Paso, and you'd have been better off driving to Des Moines, Iowa. It would have been closer, you know. So,
yeah.
So it's a lot of windshield time in the car. You're better off flying around, in my opinion, than you are driving, you know. So, but yeah, it's a red hot market. They really love their cigars in Texas and other parts of that country too, like Oklahoma and all that. But the population is not the same as Texas. So if you look at the United States, cigars are directly proportional to population density, you know, with the exception of some places like Seattle, which has really restrictive laws, in Boston and stuff like that, you know. But for the rest of the country, wherever the people are, that's where you find the most amount of lounges and whatnot, you know.
So going back to the international market there, you've got the European market kind of covered out there. Asian Pacific, Asia in the plans, or something you're looking at wanting to get into?
Yeah, definitely. We just signed a contract with a Chinese distributor, so we're into China now, and we got Singapore, Cambodia, and Malaysia, and I'm going to work on Vietnam here pretty soon and other parts. Vietnam's kind of a booming market also, but Asia's tough. I mean, it's there's a lot of legalities that go into selling there, you know. So it's and plus it's the other side of the world. So like, you gotta take cigars in like a minute to get over there, you know, but we're working on it right now. And I'm not really going to go to Asia and do events, just too damn far. So I gotta, not that I wouldn't, I love to travel. I've been all over the world, but I really don't feel like flying to Asia to do 4 events and flying home. That's just kind of ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, I got you out there. And then you've got the Middle East market. You guys in out there, Dubai and UAE.
Yeah, we got Dubai, Kuwait, Bahrain. Working on a deal with Lebanon right now, and there's another country that's escaping my mind right now. But we have Israel. We're in Israel as well.
So some of those countries there are super restrictive when it comes to the smoking aspect, or at least with cigars. Is that been an issue trying to navigate to get into it, or is it just like it is everywhere else? Is that once you go through the tedious paperwork and dot your T's or I's and cross your T's, you kind of like it, now you're in and you're okay?
Yeah, the big thing is the warning labels and stuff. Like with Bahrain, it's crazy. We have to offer them a plain box, and then they put a wrap on the entire box, which has like a person in a coffin or something like that. Like on the entire box, like a box of Berger Cigars, it's like a dead guy laying in a coffin, and then you put your symbol on top of that, which really is not good advertising, and that's how they have to sell them out there. So they're really, you might have heard in parts of Europe as well. Yeah, like Holland is very notorious for this. You have to have a sticker of a girl barfing a lung up, literally like a lung in her hand, like that, you know. And so you have to have all this disgusting stuff on the box in order to sell it there. But they've come to accept it, and it really takes away from the beauty of the cigar boxes. The cigar boxes are mangled with stickers. And the stickers that you put on, right? You have to use a special glue that puts the sticker on the box. That sticker can never come off. Like it'll rip the wood off with it, you know? So you can't remove it. So you can have something pretty to look at your house. You've got this, if you want to save the cigar box at your house, put on your wall of your man cave or whatever, it's got this big ugly ass sticker on it that you can't remove.
So to tie in on that, then, in some of these are markets that basically are slathered with stickers, coming out with a plain box, so you're not using the beautiful boxes you have now, just go something more simplistic that way. Yeah, it's covered in stickers anyway, but we're not going to ruin the beauty of the box.
Yeah.
Is that something you guys have discussed?
Well, yeah, we have plain boxes that we have for certain markets, like and for certain markets, just a box of Baja Spirits. Yeah. So you have a plain box, and you save, which is okay for us because we save the artwork or the gold leafering that we would have in the top of the box and all that. We save all that, save a few pennies here and there, but it's more of a pain in the ass to like specially make these blank boxes to sell. But it's you do what you gotta do. It's money at the end of the day. You're gonna make money by distributing them, so you do it.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that just kind of is disheartening to hear or see. You see pictures or videos, and you just see all these labels and all over it. I have no clue what most of them say, but I can kind of guess what they say.
Yeah,
based upon the way they're written, and I'm just like, but that box, that's such a beautiful box, and now it's just kind of ruined.
Like the ones in Europe say things like smoking will kill you right now. It's like really like basically like you've got a gun in your head, and if you smoke this, you're pulling the trigger. Like they have like really like graphic statements like that, and they have ones like if you're a woman, this will reduce your fertility and just all kinds of crazy shit.
Man, Europe likes to take the fun out of everything for everybody.
Well, not they're all about some other shit, but just tobacco, the war on tobacco. It's really funny too because I used to backpack around Europe in the 90s a lot, which is like the most fun a human being can ever have on planet Earth, in my opinion. And it was really a lot of fun. And back then in the 90s, they were way more laid back than the United States about tobacco, way more. They didn't even have the Surgeon General's warning on a pack of cigarettes, like nothing, And they just like gone in the other direction, man. Like now they're like over the top. They're 10 times worse than we are now, man. And it just shifted gears all of a sudden, And I always find that the places that are really cool with marijuana have like a war on tobacco. Like your state of Colorado, marijuana is really laid back. Tobacco is really highly taxed.
Of course. I mean, you can't advertise, tobacco shops or tobacco in general, but yet you can have, I can drive down to Denver and see 8,000 billboards all promoting marijuana.
That interstate that goes by the Broncos Stadium, there's like a 6-mile patch where the whole city smells like weed, man.
Yeah, there's a ton of that area. There's a ton of dispensaries over in that area as well, out there. So do you think that there's going to come a time out there like with how New Zealand passed a law that said if you're born after the year 2000, you can never buy tobacco ever in your life as long as you live in this country? Do you see that coming in other countries?
No, I think that the countries that are gonna be that extreme have already done it. I think Canada is heading down that road. I think New Zealand is. I think Australia is heading down that road. Austria, maybe, and a couple others. But for the most part, I think that the line's been drawn in the sand in a lot of places, and all the regulations are kind of in place. So wherever we are now is kind of where we're going to hold court for now on, I think. We've kind of balanced things out. I think in the United States, we've had some big wins lately. So there's not going to be anything really not everyone agrees with me, right? But I think there's going to be other battles for people to fight down the road. And this, it's like that one kid you wanted to pick a fight with for a while, and then he punched you in the mouth, and like for the next 3 years, like, oh, you're cool. Hey, you're cool, man. Whatever,
Yeah, you know that if any place would do any sort of ban like that, and this, it would be California. They would be they would be the ones that would do it. And then
They're not as bad as Washington State, man. Washington State's probably the worst, man. No, I take that back. Vermont and Massachusetts are pretty bad too, man. There's two ways of going about it. There's one with taxation, and then there's another one where, like in Washington State, when you go inside a cigar lounge, you have to walk 45 paces before you can smoke a cigar. Do you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. So think about it. You think about your favorite lounge, right? Walk in the front door, 45 feet before you could fire one up.
It's ridiculous. Most cigar lounges are the best ventilated places in the world.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but the majority have very good ventilation in them.
Right.
And you got the tax, but they I used to work for Reynolds Tobacco, and my mom used to be the head of tobacco enforcement for the state of New Mexico, and now she does contract work for the state on tobacco side of things. And she said that despite the taxes in New York on cigarettes, with a pack running $25, they're seeing more and more people pick up the habit of smoking cigarettes in New York. It's made a comeback from the decline that they had because it's a cool thing to do now.
Really?
So they had this huge dip for about 15 years, and now they're seeing this uptrend, even with excessive taxes on a pack of cigarettes.
Wow. I'll tell you this, man. Some crazy stuff like this cigar right here, the Karen collaboration with AJ Fernandez. This cigar in Florida is $16. In New York City, it's $26.
Yeah, they love their taxes, but hey, it goes to good things, right?
One would hope.
Well, at least that's what they tell. Well, in Colorado, the marijuana, hey, it's going to go to education, and we're going to rebuild schools that are fallen out of repair. We're going to upgrade schools. We're going to pay teachers the best salary in the United States. And then they saw first year bringing in almost $1 billion in taxes. Well, we're not going to do that anymore.
Right.
We're going to use that money elsewhere.
No, you know what happens, don't you? They take that money and they put it towards what they talked about putting it towards. Then they take the money they were putting towards that thing and they reroute it somewhere else. So it's kind of a shell game,
Government. Oh my God. Yeah, I find it fascinating how some states are super cool and don't care about the cigar or the pipe aspect. But when it comes to cigarettes and chew, yeah, we're gonna hammer down hard on that. But if you want to smoke cigars, smoke a pipe, go ahead. We don't really care. We're not gonna excessively tax you on this. It's fine.
Usually, what happens in a situation like that is some states have a stick cap, which is a beautiful thing. Like Wisconsin, I think it's 50 cents. Ohio, 50 cents. North Carolina, 30 cents. So that's a beautiful thing, man, because if you were to tax something as expensive as a cigar by a percentage, it would go up exponentially. But if you have a stick cap, it's fine. So don't knock that, dude. We love that.
Yeah, no, I think it's great too. The one thing that they're trying to change here in Wyoming is instead of the shops paying the tax out the moment that the cigars arrive from you send it to me, I got to pay the tax immediately, would be, well, no, we're only going to pay the tobacco tax quarterly off of what we have sold instead of me paying it up front.
Right.
And so that's kind of the big thing. It didn't make it through legislature last year, but the cap tax, as you were talking about, did make it through. So definitely made cigars, which were already affordable to begin with, even more affordable. And, you know, allowing shops to pay the taxes quarterly off of what they sell instead of up front would also lower the cost down even further for these shops, because since they're not going to
Oh,
have to
definitely.
bite the bullet up front,
Right.
especially on something that may not sell.
That's the worst part. When you pay the taxes immediately and it didn't sell yet, yeah, it's the worst part.
Yeah, you know,
Then you
so
have to be certain that it's going to sell.
so hopefully this year at legislature they'll bring it back and it makes its way through. You know, I was out there with a few of the other shop with a few of the shops in the state with along with the PCA lobbying to try and get this passed. And one of my favorite things that happened through the whole thing were the anti-tobacco people, because we got to protect the kids out there. Was that, you know, being a rural state with a lot of farming and ranching, when they started their anti-tobacco rhetoric, half of the panel grabbed their can of dip and was dipping while they were going through the anti-tobacco rhetoric. And one of the questions that I asked that got brought up was how many shops in the state of Wyoming have been cited for selling cigars to anybody under the age of 21. Well, they didn't have that number. And I go,
right.
Zero. How many in 2020, how many shops in 2022 were cited in the country, United States, for selling cigars to somebody under the age of 21?
Well, you know that whole 21-year-old law, which is pretty much national at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something explained to me one time. It was actually a cigar-friendly kind of movement, right? It's to show that we're not targeting kids. It was a movement to show that we're not targeting kids, which, when you look at it from that perspective, I was like, okay, I guess that's good. You know, I've always thought 21's a funny number anyway. It's like, you know, 18 and 20 are such not. Why is 21 always the number? It's such a bizarre number.
I don't
Like,
know.
it's not 20, 21. You know?
I don't know. But at the end of the day, kids don't care about the premium cigar line of things. They care about vaping. They care about cigarettes. You know,
Right.
They care about marijuana. They don't care about cigars.
Right.
So that's why I find this whole fight that they try to put up against the premium cigar industry is that they try to lump us in with marijuana and cigarettes and
Definitely.
vapes when it's not. If I had a vape and marijuana and a pack of cigarettes and I held it up to a kid, which would you want? None of them are going to take this.
Right. That's true.
If they took it, they'd take it to tear it apart to make a blunt out of it. It's not, you know. And in 2022, 2 shops in the United States were cited for selling cigars to somebody under the age of 21.
Really?
2.
Oh.
And how many smoke shops and gas stations were cited? Yeah, thousands.
Right.
So
Right, of course.
you tell me where the problem's at. A problem's not on the cigar side of things.
Right.
We tend to do a very good job of regulating ourselves and holding ourselves and the community accountable for actions out there.
No, definitely.
You know, that's what I think makes us stand apart. Why we're not associated with the vape, with the marijuana, with the cigarettes, because they're trying to find ways to skirt around all that. Where we're like 21, fine, cool, not a problem, and we'll hold accountable. We will hold shops accountable that want to skirt the rules. We call them out for it.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. I also think that, like, you know, remember back to when you were like 18, 19, 20, a cigar is the last thing on my mind. Last thing on my mind. No one would care at all.
I'd like to tell you that, but the day I turned 18, I skipped school and I drove to the cigar shop because I was enamored by cigars, because I thought they were cool. Because in the movies, all the cool good guys smoke cigars, and all the cool bad guys smoke cigars, and I wanted.
Teresa, I saw that comment. Yeah, I feel your pain, kid.
Yeah. Oh, the commish. Oh, glad he could grace us with his presence today.
I don't understand the comment. What does your mean?
I don't know. He's from Boston. What do you expect? uh, yeah, it's. I think that the accountability aspect of what we do as a community and as an industry set us aside from everything else out there. And
Oh, sure.
it's like R, but I guess with a Boston accent, it's your.
Oh, yeah.
you
You know what this is called in Boston? A cigar.
Cigar.
A cigar. When I'm in Rhode Island doing events, I'm like, hey, that's a good cigar. What happened to the R, man? Where'd it go?
How many days out of the year are you out on the road doing cutting lights and events?
Too many. I don't know. I haven't actually worked those numbers. I'm going to look at Google at the end of the year because it tracks where I went and all that. Quite a lot. I've probably done this year probably 70. Excuse me. 70 to 80 events easily, maybe more. I don't know. And when I'm not doing that, visiting shops, doing trade shows, doing festivals and whatnot, it's the only part about my job that sucks is the flying and air travel and driving long distances and all that. When I arrive somewhere, man, it's all gravy, dude. I'm sitting there having a beer, smoking a cigar. It's all good, man. It's just the only thing that's really annoying is the actually getting there.
But it's something that you enjoy doing to promote who you work for as one, but also that introduction to new people who may not know about the brand or who have been curious about it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. It's also kind of like an ego boost, Like I get to sit there, open my laptop, and look at we have nearly 1,000 accounts in the United States now. And a lot of that was due to me and hustling and calling and sending samples out and talking to people and all the work that goes into it. So it's definitely a grind and a hustle, but it's a labor of love, So I'm very happy with where we've gotten to, So I feel really good about all the work I put in. I don't ever want to stop. I told Karen before, I was like, until the day I retire, until the day I stop working or I drop dead, I'll be running Berger Cigars till that day. And I told Karen, I was like, I'll only work for you. I'll never work for anyone else. So everyone else out there, don't try. I've had 15 other companies try and hire me away. I just tell them, don't waste your time, man. I work for Berger. Why would I work for anyone else?
Hey, when you find that one job that you're like, this is it, man. I can't see myself working for anybody else. You could offer me a lot more money to come, but I don't think it's not about the money. It's about who I work for, the people I work with out there, that you can't replicate that going to another business or a corporation.
No doubt. The grass is not always greener on the other side, man.
I think a lot of
I couldn't imagine some of these people that own cigar brands. They bark at their at their employees all the time, and people have all this heat on top of their shoulders. I don't have any of that. Karen gives me an expense card and gives me carte blanche, and the understood agreement is that I'm going to bust my ass and do the right thing, and I do. So there's never a problem. I'm out there selling. But I couldn't imagine working for someone else that's just grinding me down to a nub all the time. Even though I'm in the cigar business, it's still not the proper fit, So being with Karen is the absolute proper fit.
With the shops, are you finding with the this is okay? So this is one thing I picked up at PCA last year. Just talking with retail shops, it seems you have those that are gung ho. They have the love and the passion for cigars. They're educated in it, but then there's this large majority that this is just kind of like a hobby for them. They don't really know anything about it. They're not going to hire people in to work their shops that know a lot about cigars themselves, and they don't really also seem to have the interest in wanting to know that. They're just going to carry what the vast majority of everybody else has in it.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
am I misreading kind of talking with people about that, or is that something you see?
There's all kinds of cigar shops out there. There's all kinds. There's the hobbyists, where it's like, 3 or 4 guys with some money got together and it's their little clubhouse, and they don't really care if they make the numbers. They each have 2 other businesses. That's the one that's like their passion. They just, it breaks even, but that's all they want. So it keeps the door open. They can go there and hang out with their boys and all that. Right. Then you've got some that are run totally like a business, completely. The bottom line is everything. Then you've got lounges that like have long since stopped giving a damn what the lounge looks or smells like. I mean, you can smell mildew and shit in there, and they're really kind of disgusting. And then there's ones that are pristine, man. Like I'm doing an event in Frisco, Texas on December 2nd at the Good Cigar. My boy Al Roman's the owner. Dude, that shop is beautiful. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's a piece of art, man. Like, I mean, they've taken every kind of cigar box and picture and made art out of it on the wall, and it's clean. You can eat off the floor. I mean, it's just amazing, So there's different scopes out there of what people are trying to accomplish. And I do my best to try and advise people when they have a new cigar lounge. And I do it for free. People ask me all the time, like, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. And I do my best to help people out and consult them and all that. But some people don't give a damn, man. Some people, it's just an old fart community where people are going, and not really caring what the place looks like, Some people like it that way. Some people like that cozy, squishy environment. Some places are pristine and gorgeous. I always think if you go to buy a house, you want to check the attic, because if someone has a shitty attic, right, the rest of the house is going to be rough too, in my opinion, right? So if you go to a cigar store, you're looking at the humidor. If I go in that humidor and it smells like mildew, there's a big problem. And there's a few of them out there like that, You should go into a humidor and smell cedar and tobacco and like nothing else.
I was in one not too long ago when I walked into the humidor, and it had that mildewy, moldy smell. And then I looked, I kind of went around the corner where they had their humidification system, the pipe running up the wall, had a leak in it, and it was just leaking all down on all the cigars over there, and they were all covered in mold. And I was just, I was heartbroken because, what a waste of good tobacco at that point. And 2, they just didn't care to ever want to fix that.
Yeah.
Why would I want to shop here?
There's a lounge I went to one time that had a carpet in the humidor. That can't amount to anything good.
No, nothing good. Nothing good happens with carpet.
In a wet environment?
Oh yeah, nothing good can happen with carpet in a humid, wet environment. Terrible.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate your time and coming on, talking about Karen Berger, the amazingness that she's doing out there, some of the new stuff you guys got coming out. I'm really excited. I've been a big fan of Karen Berger cigars and Don Kiki cigars for a long time out there, and I'm glad over the last few years the brand is really blown up, and really the masses out there, they know the greatness that's coming out of that factory in Nicaragua and what Karen's doing down there.
No, yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate that, man. It's a lot of hard work to get there, but I think we're at that turning point right now, man. We're at the turning point where we want to. Oh, Eduardo, it's been a pleasure, man. We're at the turning point where we're now getting calls from a lot of people that want our cigars in their stores and all that, and it's really taking off, man. So we're very proud of the work we've accomplished. And I thank you for giving us the forum to talk to people about what we're doing.
Oh man, anytime, man. You guys, I love what you guys do out there. I'm a fan, and And I'm glad that the power of social media has really pushed Karen Berger to a lot of people out there, and they're asking their shops to carry it so they can call you to come stock their shelves full of deliciousness.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's fun, man. I love it.
Next Monday night, Matt Lewis from 58 Ring will be my guest. If you're into beautiful handcrafted accessories, he makes gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. He just built a brand new extension onto his shop so he can ramp up production even more than what he has. Matt's a good friend, and I'm super glad to get to talk to him again on there. And tomorrow night on my IG Live, Raw Cigar Reviews, my guest co-host Anthony Cruz from the One to One Mini Podcast Project will be with me. We will be sitting down with Maurice Mears from JM Patriarch Cigars and doing a live review and interview with him. So come tune in, same time, 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern on my IG Live feed. And anything you'd like to end with there, Bruce, I'll hand it to you.
Yeah, December 1st, I'll be at Tobacco Cabana in Cedar Hill, Texas, which is in the DFW area. Then December 2nd, I'll be – oh, yeah, Eduardo, I'll answer that in a second there. So December 2nd, I will be in Frisco, Texas at the Good Cigar. And then December 3rd, I'll be at Tobacco Junction, TJ Cigar Lounge in Temple, Texas. So come out and see me. Best way to follow our events – guys, everyone out there, Eduardo, everybody, follow Karen Berger on Instagram. And you can friend me on Facebook also, Bruce Busch. You'll see I have the tailgate symbol as my symbol there, right? So follow us on Facebook and Instagram. It's the best way to keep – we post all the time where we're going to be.
If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, in the description, I've got links to everything Karen Berger and Bruce. So make it easy for you to click, and you can go to all their social media pages as well as the website on there if you would like some additional information about the cigars. It's on there. If you're one of the few people that watch on LinkedIn, you'll have to guess which link takes you where, because they do things different over there. So yeah, Eduardo, if you go down into the description, I've got links to all of Bruce's social media, Karen's social media, and as well as the brand's website.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Dan, my boy. I appreciate your time today, man.
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. And everybody, we will see you next Monday night.
All right. Cheers.